So we're at the Gartner IT Symposium in Barcelona, Europe's largest gathering of CIOs and senior IT executives for what promises to be a really interesting 3 days of discussion around technology trends and what's on the mind of technology leaders.
Well, I've really enjoyed the Gartner Symposium. It's the first time I've been, but I really find it a very engaging experience. Obviously, mostly the people you meet around the event, but also in a lot of the presentations, there's been a very strong focus on AI. But for me, the interesting part has been how many people are focusing on the value realization of AI, which obviously plays very strongly to what we at AlixPartners do. And I think people are looking at it both from how do you get efficiency and cost out through AI-enabled change, but also how do you grow the business? What does it mean for the way you deal with customers? And not simply by an automated live chat, but actually work out where your market is and how you can engage them very differently.
The hot topic this year at the Gartner IT Symposium is again, obviously AI. It's less about the possibilities the technology can provide. It's more about how to make it work and how to make it hit the road on a wider basis.
Well, it's been a great couple of days at Gartner. One of my interesting observations really is it's been all about agentic so far. Now, it's not unusual, to be fair, but one of the things I would say is that the trend at the moment is that we've moved from Gen AI to agentic, and actually in a couple of years that could be something totally different. So the mood music is agentic for now, but actually for later it could be something even different. One of the things that I particularly observed really was around the ability to adopt agentic AI. Now, when I spoke to a number of CIOs, what they struggle with is legacy. How do you deal with legacy? How do you deal with your data? Because those are the key foundations in order to enable an effective agentic AI solution. So dealing with legacy is one area. The second area is where to start with agentic AI. And actually, is that the right place to start? Should they be doing something slightly different? And that's another theme, autonomous businesses. And really that means having a number of different agents running autonomously, running on different business processes. And what I can see in the future, if I think about the trends going forward, you can see an economy in the future of autonomous agents where agents are spinning up, negotiating, finding other agents as well, negotiating on behalf of organizations, and then running business processes. So truly low touch, highly autonomous, highly agentic.
This morning I was in a session on IT operating models. It was absolutely packed, the whole auditorium was full, and there was standing room only at the back. The first thing the presenter said is, I'm not going to talk about Gen AI. And actually there's got a huge round of applause from the audience. And it made me reflect actually that the most interesting conversations I'm having are not about Gen AI. They're about three classic topics in IT. The first on IT operating models and how to be more productive. The second on IT costs and how to do more with the same amount of money or in some cases less. And the third topic around how do you modernize your legacy technology estate. And as I say, these are old topics, but they are perpetual topics for CIOs that I talk to.
I really am starting to believe that the likes of SAP and Microsoft Dynamics, they certainly won't be looking like they do today. There'll be a very shrunk down version, maybe system of record. And I think there's so many vendors out there at the moment that are really thinking about this seriously and starting from the ground up, that they're going to really struggle in the future. And they're not going to be able to compete on the cost that these companies are going to be able to work on.
You can't escape it. AI is everywhere, but what's interesting is how the trend this year shifts from talking about AI in purely optimistic terms to being very focused on where's the business value, what outcomes is it delivering, and what ROI can we expect. Let's hear some more from the AlixPartners team.
I think the first thing really is that AI continues to be prevalent everywhere. It's talked about virtually in every session, but it's a much more balanced view that seems to be being presented this year. And that was really demonstrated in the opening keynote on the first day, where some of the challenges, such as accuracy of AI, were talked about quite openly. It's quite an interesting way to start your keynote with that much more balanced view. Second thing I'd say is really just about the journey that's still to be gone on around AI. A lot of the use cases aren't striking me as being massively game-changing at the moment. Clearly, organizations are still figuring out how to embed AI, how to drive value from it. And I think the journey is going to be one that's going to go on over many years.
I think 2026 is actually going to see increasing amounts of agentic AI, and I know it's been a buzzword. It's been a buzzword around this year, but I think actually I've seen a number of people talk about practical and usable applications of agentic AI, whether it's driving value out of low-margin activities which typically get neglected, or actually building up personas where the customer persona and the business persona are actually able to talk to each other. So I think we will see that as an increasing trend.
The adoption of AI will be the key topic, and I think it goes well beyond the use case identification, etc. It's, I think, about the human element, which is in line with earlier technologies where it took time for the human beings to adopt it. One important element in this is how organizations will be changing with the use of AI, and the densification of skills and the skill mix in companies is one of the key focus points of the discussions I have been part of.
This future world of agentic AI, it isn't just let's solve this business problem, although it really is about understanding the business context. You have to then have a bunch of technologies and tools to be able to monitor, support, manage the security, and to be able to, where we in the past had this sprawl of microservices and sprawl of systems even before that, now you're going to get this sprawl of AI and agents that you're going to have to control. So getting that architecture right, getting that data right, and really putting in place the foundation for the future is a common thread I've literally been hearing actually from the vendors and from the talks.
Are our people up to the challenge now? That seems to be a recurring theme. You know, AI, yeah, that's everywhere at this show. But do we have the people to deliver on the promise of AI? That's before you even get to the infrastructure or all of the other challenges around processes and the way that organizations work.
Yeah, I think companies are still really grappling with some of the basics that they've been grappling with for many years. So tech debt, foundations, how to create more of a value creation mindset with their executive around technology. Those things aren't going away. And if anything, the technology leaders are still needing to address those whilst also figuring out how to go about the whole topic of AI.
So top trend for 2026, of course there's the shiny, exciting stuff like agentic AI, but for me, the same is true as has been for the last 5 to 10 years. Focus on the basics, your IT op model, your IT cost, and modernizing your technology estate, and that builds the foundations to really take advantage of the shiny, sexy stuff.